Do you think the Canadiens will make the playoffs next season with the same core group of players?
I don't think so. I think they definitely have to change something up, that it has not been working. These core players are not able to get over the hump, and I think they have to make a move, bring in someone else. Perhaps it's because it's the repetition of the last few years, and they just need some fresh players in here. But if they keep the same core and they don't make any changes, I don't think it's going to be a playoff year for the Habs.
Marc Bergevin needs to make a major shakeup on this team this summer. I mean, it's 3 years in a row, 4 out of 5 not making the playoffs. Yeah, there was injuries this year, but they don't have enough depth to cover up for those injuries, and who's to say there's not going to be a lot of injuries next year? Again, every team goes through injuries. He needs to make a major trade involving one of his core key players, whether it's looking into moving Carey Price, whether it's he's got to do something. You can't keep just doing the same thing over and over with the same group of players and expecting a different result. It's just not going to happen. I think the fan base is frustrated. It'll be interesting to see how many people don't renew season tickets this offseason. I know I've spoken with season ticket holders who are frustrated. They can't give away some of their tickets, never mind resell them. So I think there was no excitement after the trade deadline passed. I wrote a column saying there's nothing for Canadiens fans to be excited about. They need something. Jeff Molson and Marc Bergevin and the Canadiens need to give their fans something to be excited about going into next season.
Well, I think we're all in agreement that next year is not going to be a great year for them with the group that they have, and I think that the key guys and the core guys have to be changed. You have to do some changes there, and the expectations of some of the kids coming up from Laval are not going to make a huge difference to allow them to get in the playoffs. So there's still a lot of growing pains here right now, and if they want to get some immediate relief, they're going to have to change up their dressing room.
A rookie, even Nick Suzuki's had an amazing rookie season. He has 40 points, around 40 points. Like that's fantastic for a rookie, but that's not going to change. That's not what's the Suzuki going to do next year? I don't think he's going to go from 40 points to 85 points. He should improve. He's a good hockey player, but they need to get a star player who's not Carey Price. They need to get a star player who can put the puck in the net. That's what they need. Carey Price they've never won anything with Carey Price. Carey Price has a losing record in the playoffs. Not all on him. I mean, he played great 2 years ago against the Rangers, or 3 years ago against the Rangers in the playoffs, and the team couldn't score. They need to get a star player who can put the puck in the net. That's what they need.
But that's been the same old song for the past how many years?
Well, and Marc Bergevin keeps saying how hard it is. Well, you've been on the job for 8 years. At some point, you paid a lot of money because the job is hard, and it's hard for every other GM in the league, and they seem to be able to do it. So he's got to do something this summer, and it's got to be a major.
And their top guys in Price and Weber are not getting any younger.
And the longer you wait, the harder or more impossible it's going to be to trade those guys.
And their mindset also might be, you know what, I do realize I'm getting older. My window of opportunity to win a Stanley Cup is becoming smaller and smaller. So maybe they would like to change of scenery. I mean, ultimately, everybody wants to win the Stanley Cup. That's why you play the game. And if that's a long ways away in their feelings, then you've got trouble trying to keep them happy where they are.
Well, Weber and Price, two things in common. They both have 6 years left in their contract, and they both never won a Stanley Cup, and they've won everything else. So you're absolutely right. I think Carey Price has a no movement clause. It doesn't mean you can't trade him. That means you can only trade him to the teams he wants to go to. And I would imagine you're probably going to have to keep close to half of his salary cap hit. I don't know how many teams are going to fit a $10.5 million salary cap hit for a goalie. So that's when they sign that contract. It's one of those contracts when you sign it, boy, the longer it goes on, the tougher it is.
And you talk about free agents. Well, free agents would maybe give Montreal consideration if they were going on the right track to possibly win something.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys with their age are not interested in going to a losing franchise.
That's why John Tavares signed in Toronto, because Toronto was 3 years before, he never would have looked at Toronto because they had no hope in winning, but he thought he could win a Stanley Cup there. That's why he went there.
So this is going to play into their the big picture as far as who they're going to get, who wants to come here, et cetera, et cetera. So they've got some work to do.
Well, the future is grim. Go to hockeyinsideout.com now and check out this week's full episode.